This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission from Indiana Sports Network.
Welcome to Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, the U.S. News & World Report's #1 engineering school in the United States that offers a master's as its highest degree for 18 consecutive years. Rose-Hulman, where you come to find yourself. Find yourself through personal growth, through personal development, through study, research, and invention. Rose-Hulman, your home for academic and athletic excellence.
You are watching Rose-Hulman football on the Indiana Sports Network. You're watching. This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission from Indiana Sports Network.
Welcome to Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, the U.S. News & World Report's #1 engineering school in the United States that offers a master's as its highest degree for 18 consecutive years. Rose-Hulman, where you come to find yourself. Find yourself through personal growth, through personal development, through study, research, and invention. Rose-Hulman, your home for academic and athletic excellence.
You are watching Rose-Hulman football on the Indiana Sports Network.
And welcome to Rose-Hulman football on Indiana Sports Network. Today it's homecoming in Terre Haute, Indiana at the campus of Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, where Manchester University has come to call. And hello, everyone. I'm Herb King, along with my partner, Tony Wilson. We're going to bring you all the exciting action of Rose-Hulman football here on Indiana Sports Network. And we have a ball game, again, that's very important in the conference standing for Rose-Hulman. Rose-Hulman, of course, was chosen by the coaches preseason to win the HCAC again. They were the champions last year and made it to the national tournament in Division III football. They were chosen to do that, but they played a very tough non-conference schedule, losing their 3 ball games to nationally ranked DePaul, 17-14, losing to Trine by 1 point, and Trine at that point was a reserve in the polls, the national polls. And then Albion took care of Rose-Hulman in week 3, and Rose-Hulman really had, I think, a collapse in the middle of the ball game, and Albion got the better of them. But they rebounded, winning at Anderson last week 45-7, and that brings us to our ball game this afternoon. It's Manchester University coming in. Again, we have a 2 p.m. start because it is homecoming. Great festivities. Tony, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere today. You know, it's a perfect fall day for football. The leaves are starting to turn. You know, a nice sunny day, and like you said, the atmosphere out behind us is just phenomenal. You know, hard to find a place to park out here today. I figured that out pretty quick, but no, everyone's excited. We've got a great crowd. The band's here. I mean, it should be a pretty fun afternoon.
Well, again, Rose-Hulman continues its defense of its conference title in this second game, and really those first 3 ball games don't really matter when it comes to making the national tournament. They do if you're looking at rating points and those kinds of things, but Rose-Hulman has been one of the prepared teams in the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference the last few years. We've had an opportunity to see those ball games, and this year's no different as we look at the offensive power of Rose-Hulman. It's right behind Miguel Robertson, the junior, that's 6'3", from Petaluma, California. He's the guy that makes things run offensively by designing what's going on, and without him in the lineup, that's when Rose-Hulman was having some issues.
Yeah, absolutely. He's averaging over 200 yards a game. You know, he is the commander of the line down there. He's done a pretty good job so far this year. A good target, Daniel Perry. He's got 3 touchdowns, about 90 yards per game. Also, Adam Tice-Selu, he's got 3 touchdowns, 58 yards per game. A lot of targets for Robertson out there, and it's a Manchester defense that's really struggled this year. You would hope he can have a big day today.
Well, the running game has also been one of those things that Rose-Hulman struggled a little bit early on, and partially because of the defensive fronts that they're facing at DePaul, Trine, and Albion. But I think they're getting things underway that way. Rose-Hulman has had an issue where at least 4 or 5 years ago it was tough to find the speed guy. And when you're talking about Jalen Hobbs and Daniel Uri, Adam Tice-Selu, and Tice-Selu is one of those unsung heroes. And when I say this, he lines up on the weak side of the offensive formation, and he's one of those guys that can catch the deep ball and really stretch the defense, and it allows Uri to do other things. And Uri is one of those guys, when he catches the football in the open field, he's lightning in a bottle of being able to do those things. We're looking for big things again this afternoon from running back Grant Ruperta, and Lance Shelton, the senior, has stepped in and done a lot of good things as well for Rose-Hulman. Looking at the offensive line, they're going to have different guys in. Chris Schlitz, will move over. He'll play one of the line positions. Justin Pearson, Kenneth Gibson, Dylan Page, and Devlin Spradlin, and Martin in this. Alex Martin is out for the day. He won't be playing, and as you see Rose-Hulman appear in the end zone ready to take the field, that'll be the starting lineup for Rose-Hulman's offensive group. We'll watch the Fighting Engineers take the field and get ready for this one, and we'll then have the coin toss. But the Engineers are filing out, all of them. It's homecoming, and if you've ever been to Rose-Hulman for a homecoming game, the back of this place is packed with tents. There's live music. There's free food. It's just a party that everybody can enjoy, in a family-friendly atmosphere here at Rose-Hulman, and everybody seems to be enjoying themselves. And the number one thing, of course, for this afternoon is this football game.
Yeah, and it's a big day on campus. You know, they've got the women's soccer playing right now. The men follow them up, and then later this evening we've got the volleyball match over there against Transylvania. So a huge day here on campus.
And speaking of that volleyball game, we'll have that game live here on Indiana Sports Network when the conclusion of this ball game takes place. Actually, my partner Tony here will walk inside and call the volleyball game. So he's got a big day in front of him, and Rose-Hulman has a big day just being a homecoming. Everybody's here. As he mentioned before, there's not a parking place that can be found on this campus. Everybody is here, and Rose-Hulman's getting ready to take the field. As they do every ball game, they'll run out and they'll pound onto the actual elephant head in the middle of this stadium. So let's see what we can get done here.
Yeah, we look at.
And here they go. And here come the Fighting Engineers onto the field. And they'll take the field, and with that, we'll pause for a short break. You're watching Rose-Hulman football on Indiana Sports Network.
If somebody's kind of on the fence of going into a recruiting office or just reaching out to a recruiter, I would absolutely encourage it, if anything, just for the information.
We have a lot of enlistment bonuses out there right now, upwards to about $20,000. If you're in college or you plan to be to college, this is a great choice for you, because our organization, we look for students who want to go to college. We also have educational benefits where we pay up to 100% of tuition.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Yeah.
So what do we do before we cross the street?
We look both ways for cars.
No cars. All right, let's go.
But Daddy, why do you have to hold my hand?
To keep you safe. That's why we look for cars. I'm watching out for danger. To keep you safe.
Daddy, who watches out for you?
Protect your family and loved ones with Micah Bonomo.
You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
The Fellowship of Christian Athletes has the mission of leading every coach and every athlete into a growing relationship with Jesus Christ and His church. Through camps and huddles, character coaches, and special events, we are making an impact in West Central Indiana. Check out where you can get involved at our website, wcindianafca.org. FCA, we are the heart and soul in sports.
I'm All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor for York Automotive. York is my #1 pick for your next car, truck, or SUV. Shop from over 600 vehicles at yorkautomotive.com today.
You're #1 at York.
You are watching HCAC football at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
And we had the national anthem. You'll be able to see, hopefully, the ROTC group as they brought out the colors for this afternoon's homecoming game. A choir for Rose-Hulman sang the national anthem. The pep band is installed on the track instead of being up in the stands because there's not any room. As you'll see this place really packed out on the home side. Visitor side, there's a lot of room. Manchester, of course, located in eastern Indiana, just closer to the Fort Wayne area, and located in North Manchester, Indiana, as you see the captains going out for this afternoon's ball game. And with that, we're looking at, again, Tyler Smith, number 8 is Abe Grizaw, the sophomore, going out for Rose-Hulman. I'm looking at the captains, a little bit different group as we normally see in those. And again, going out for the coin toss. It'll be a live toss as it is in college football. A lot of times in a high school and other levels, they actually are required to do those like 15 minutes before the start of the ball game. And this one will be a live toss. Rose-Hulman has traditionally deferred the toss if they would win it, and we'll see what happens this way as well.
You know, you were talking about Manchester a little bit. It's been 13 years since they've defeated Rose-Hulman. Back in 2009 was the last time. Rose holds the all-time lead in this series, 23-8, so it's one of those conference opponents that they've pretty much dominated. Look to continue that today.
Well, Manchester has struggled with their program at times. Every now and then they have good teams that have come up, and Nate Jensen, their head coach, has a background from Alma, Michigan, and I can remember when he was actually there. I was up and actually watched one of the ball clubs that he had a chance to coach as an assistant, and he took over. I've had ball players play for Nate at Manchester, and he runs a good program, does a lot of good things, but it is a tougher place to recruit. Rose-Hulman is a nationally recruiting school, and so you'll see players from 27 different states on Rose-Hulman's roster, and with that means that the Rose-Hulman coaches are scouring the country to find Division III athletes that fit the profile that will go to Rose-Hulman. Major in engineering, and when we say engineering, most of the Rose-Hulman football players have engineering in their degrees or some semblance of a science background, but most of them are engineers, and that's why this place is ranked as the #1 engineering school in the country. They're able to recruit players that normally would want to go just, if they want to go Division II or somewhere like that, they can actually entice them to come to Rose-Hulman simply because of the academic prowess that Rose-Hulman has. As both these teams line up for the kickoff, it'll be Manchester kicking the football off to Rose-Hulman. And as we prepare for this one again, Troy, it's good to have you alongside me today, and we'll get things going and have a great afternoon. It's a beautiful day for football, about 60 degrees and partly cloudy skies. It's just a beautiful day here, beautiful fall day. The leaves haven't started turning, but you can tell they're just starting to get a little bit of color in them. We'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. A beautiful day here at Rose-Hulman. Kickoff, number 49, Matthew Mason. He's from Mount Blanchard, Ohio, and Riverdale High School. Who pooch one up there, only goes down about the 20-yard line. One of the up backs will take it. He'll move it over to the right side and tackle just shy of the 30-yard line. That's where Rose-Hulman will take over with the football.
That's one thing Manchester struggled is field position this season. It seems like they've always been on their heels. So we'll have to watch that today, see if Rose-Hulman, if they're going to go a little bit more on the attack offensively or if they're going to settle down and kind of play a field position game.
Lance Sheldon was the player that returned the ball out to the 29-yard line. 1st and 10, Rose-Hulman. Robertson hands it back off. Raperta up the middle. He'll pick up 8, 9, 10, make it 11 yards and a first down for Rose-Hulman up over the 40-yard line. So really good run, and the offensive line took over, and here we're going to go. Fast-paced offense for Rose-Hulman. They're calling it NASCAR. It's fast-paced as quickly as they can go. Ball snapped. Quick hitch off the edge. He's got it out to Ty Salou. He's going forward. He'll pick up another first down. So 2 quick plays and 2 first downs for the Fighting Engineers.
Yeah, Markel Jackson got caught trying to jump the route on that one and got beat pretty badly.
Well, nice play again by Ty Salou as he picks one. He'll go inside just a little bit more. The H-back is set in there. They're play action fake. They're going deep. No, right down the sideline. A nice pass and another first down. And Rose-Hulman has the ball at the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. 3 plays, 3 first downs, and Rose-Hulman is marching this football very quickly. Bunch formation to the right-hand side. Robertson fakes. No, he'll pull it back outside. It's a screen pass down the right sideline. Touchdown, Rose-Hulman. Daniel Hury on the reception and score from 30 yards out. And Rose-Hulman's on the board with 4:02 left to go here in the first period.
Harry's 4th touchdown of the year, and talk about striking quick. Not even a minute into the ball game, and the Engineers are on the board.
Really defensively, the corner should have popped his head outside to try to force him back in. Instead, he got walled off, and a beautiful touchdown lane for Rose-Hulman, and they're on the board here in homecoming. Kick is up. And it's good as well. It's 7-0. Rose-Hulman with the lead when we return for more action on Indiana Sports Network.
There is a greatness inside of you, a passion, a strength, a determination. So embrace it. Embrace the greatness that you bring to everything you do. Embrace the idea that you can do work that makes an impact, work that keeps the country moving forward and our economy strong. Because not everyone has what you have. And that's exactly what connects you to all of us at Great Dane. There's greatness inside of you. Are you ready to embrace it?
Treatment for those with mental illnesses and addiction issues has evolved over the years.
In the late 1960s, Indiana's mental health system began to take shape.
From 1971
to 2021, Hamilton Center has touched the lives of thousands of people in central and west central Indiana.
We are committed to the latest therapies
to improve the quality of life for those with mental illnesses.
Treatment works.
Recovery is possible.
And thank you, Indiana.
This game is presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
At Lynn's Pharmacy,
Connor Whitesell will kick it off for Rose-Hulman. He pounds the ball deep, gets it down to about the 7-yard line, and that's where Manchester will try to return it. Up the middle, a wide open seam. He gets it out to the 42-yard line, and that's where Manchester will have the football. 1st and 10 when we return on Indiana Sports Network.
At Lynn's Pharmacy, we're more than just your pharmacist. We're your neighbors.
Our kids go to the same schools. We eat at the same restaurants.
We sit next to you in church.
When I listen to a symptom.
When I fill a prescription.
When I offer advice, I'm not just helping a customer. I'm helping my neighbor and a friend. My name is Lynn Hofstadter, and I'm the proud owner of Lynn's Pharmacy, a modern pharmacy with old-fashioned values and personal service dedicated to keeping you, your family, and our community healthy since 1872.
Here at Lynn's Pharmacy.
Manchester hands the ball up the middle, and going nowhere was the running back, and that's David Smith. Smith also had the kick return, that outstanding return, got the ball to the 42. He lost 2 yards, though, on their first carry, and Manchester with the football. They're in a spread-oriented offense, very similar look to what Rose-Hulman has, and they have a ball 2nd and 12.
Figure they're going to try to slow this down a little bit, keep Rose off the field.
Deep pass down the middle, and right behind could have been picked, is it? No, they're going to say it hit the ground. Incomplete pass, it'll bring up 3rd and 12. Quarterback for Manchester is number 12. That's Trevor O'Brien from Vero Beach, Florida. Running back David Smith from Indianapolis North Central High School. Peyton Frye, number 8, is the tight end or H-back. And they'll be spread now in a 2-by-2 set. Other wide receivers, DJ Bellman and Brett Woolsey. Also, Cam Hall will play wide receiver for the Spartans. Step back, pressure, throws it up, and picked off. Great pick on the backside by number 2. That's Tice Miller. He's down the left sideline. He could go. He's down inside the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, Rose-Hulman. They'll mark it at the 14, and the Fighting Engineers are in scoring position again.
Boy, O'Brien airmailed that one pretty bad, and Miller was there to pick it off. A good return, too. Boy, they could put this one out of reach pretty quick at this pace.
Well, and you'll see them line up and go as quickly as they can. That's why we'll keep one here until we have a break in the action. And now the defense, if you see them on the sideline, they are just pumped up right on the sideline, going absolutely crazy with their turnover idea of what's happening. Rose-Hulman with the football. Robertson, pump fake, went for the deep throw, gets it up to Ty Saloon, just threw that one out of bounds. Good defensive play that time by Manchester on the outside, as their secondary man was right in position and forced Robertson to throw it away, and that was really a good throwaway as well. Didn't want to turn it back over to Manchester in this point.
Yeah, he put it where his man could get it, but no one else.
Ruperta takes the ball up the middle. He'll gain 5, 6, 7, 8 yards on that play as he ran it right up the middle. Great blocking by the offensive line for Rose-Hulman as they're controlling the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 3. They'll give him 7 on the carry. Ruperta again side. He'll take the football. Nope. Yes, he does. Up the middle, and he gets stymied. And that'll bring up a 4th and 2. Now the key, does Rose-Hulman go? They're going to take the field goal right now, put points on the board, not waste any time with it, so outruns the field goal unit.
Kyle Reberg coming in. He's 3 of 5 on the season.
And Reberg kicked the extra point earlier, just about 3 minutes ago, as Rose-Hulman has an opportunity here on this one. It would be a 24-yard field goal. He kicks it up, and it's good. And Rose-Hulman has 10 points on the board here in the first quarter with 12:06 left to go in quarter number 1. It's Rose-Hulman 10, Manchester nothing.
Your all-pro running back, Jonathan Taylor here for York Automotive. Looking for an all-pro deal on your next car, truck, or SUV? York is my #1 pick. With over 600 vehicles in stock, York has the largest selection to meet your needs. We're talking new, pre-owned, and commercial vehicles. Take it from one all-pro to another, York has your best deal.
Shop online at yorkautomotive.com and we'll show you why we're not #1, you are.
We're not #1.
You are!
You're #1 at York.
You are watching HCAC football at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network. You are watching Rose-Hulman football on the Indiana Sports Network.
Kiner Whitesell will again tee it up, and we'll see if we can get this kickoff deep again. And again, a really nice return by David Smith on the last one. Got it to the 42, but Manchester could not move the football. And with that interception and a quick return, put Rose-Hulman down in scoring position. They didn't pick up the first down, but they did pick up the field goal, and it's 10-0, a two-score lead now for Rose-Hulman. And that's really what the Fighting Engineers want to do, is try to put the points on the board early and make sure they can control this football game. Whitesell with another kick, gets it down to the 5-yard line, a deep kick, opportunity to not only return it but and stop him down there. They do. It'll be Manchester football. 1st and 10 when we return on Indiana Sports Network.
So what do we do before we cross the street?
We look both ways for cars.
No cars. All right, let's go.
But Daddy, why do you have to hold my hand?
To keep you safe. That's why we look for cars. I'm watching out for danger to keep you safe.
Daddy, who watches out for you?
Protect your family. And
it is. Yep. O'Brien,
he'll throw it across the middle, and it's picked off again. Great defensive play, but a short throw by O'Brien. He underthrew his receiver by about 4 yards, and coming up with that pick was, for Rose-Hulman, was number 24, and that's Richard Brown, the 6'1 senior from Columbia, South Carolina. Picks it off at the 48. Here comes Rose-Hulman.
That's the second time they've really pressured O'Brien, and boy, he's just kind of throwing them up for grabs so far.
So Rose-Hulman with the football, 1st and 10, balls at the 48, and defensive pressure. Again, 2 throws and 2 picks for Rose-Hulman. Ruperta inside, makes one man miss, and he'll pick up about 2 yards.
It's a nice tackle down there by Markel Jackson, a sophomore out of Sarasota, Florida.
And here we go. It's Rose-Hulman with the football. 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8. Rose-Hulman sets back. Robertson, he's got a man down the middle. Picks up Tice Salou right down the middle, down to the 26-yard line.
We can tell so far the speed of Rose-Hulman is just not able to be matched by Manchester.
Again, Rose-Hulman with the football. 2-by-2 set this time. Ruperta in the backfield. They'll throw the quick slant, almost picked off. And was it caught? They'll say, no, it wasn't. And that could have changed the ball game, as Manchester's number 1, and this is the cornerback, Markel Jackson, the sophomore from Sarasota, had a pick 6 and missed the football.
Yeah, it's the second time we've seen him jump that route. The first time it bit him, they got about a 15-yard gain, but this time, darn near came away with a pick 6.
Don't be surprised if Rose-Hulman has a double move on him the next time to try to see if they can get it deep. Hury on the motion. He'll take the jet sweep off the left side. He's got speed, and he's got room to run, and he picks up the first down on about a 16-yard gain. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
I believe that was Jalen Hobbs.
It was Hobbs. I'm sorry. I said Hury, and it was Hobbs.
Yeah, junior wide receiver. Boy, he's quick out of the backfield.
They run that jet every now and then back and forth. Here comes 3 receivers to the right side. Robertson will take the snap, step back, has a man open in the flats, throws it out there, turns the corner, 5, and does he get in? Out of bounds at the 1. Thought maybe he got the football across the pylon, but he wasn't able quite to do that one. Again, a nice play. Ruperta picks the ball up and picks up 10 yards and a first down. It's 1st and goal. Rose-Hulman, ball at the 1-yard line.
Manchester completely on their heels so far in the first 5 minutes of this ball game.
And Ruperta will take the direct snap, powers it off tackle, and he scores. Touchdown, Rose-Hulman. It's 16-0. Rose-Hulman here in the first period of play. 10:22 left to go in the quarter.
6 rushes so far today for the Engineers, 38 yards. They are averaging over 6 yards a carry so far today. And, boy, just complete domination early on.
Rayberg will kick the extra point, and the opportunity for Rose-Hulman It's down. The kick is up. Looks good. And it is 17-0. Rose-Hulman will return for more action here on Indiana Sports Network.
If somebody's kind of on the fence of going into a recruiting office or just reaching out to a recruiter, I would absolutely encourage it, if anything, just for the information.
We have a lot of enlistment bonuses out there right now, upwards to about $20,000. If you're in college or you plan to be to college, this is a great choice for you, because our organization, we look for students who want to go to college. We also have educational benefits where we pay up to 100% of tuition.
You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
So Rose-Hulman very quickly, a touchdown and a field goal off of 2 interceptions, and Rose-Hulman finds themselves not only playing well, but playing fast and furious this afternoon against Manchester University. They lead 17-0 here in the first quarter, and we're early in the first quarter as well. And for Rose-Hulman, they desperately need to get things back to an understanding that they can be in charge of football games. They didn't do it the first 3 ball games, but boy, they put some points on the board in a hurry in this one.
Yeah, I'd say they're well in command of this thing. Manchester's got to find a way to keep their composure here and stay on the field.
Whitesell pounds it deep, gives it up to Smith. He'll take the football at the 20, up to the 25, makes a nice cut, and you can see he's very athletic, has an opportunity to do things. Manchester football when we return on Indiana Sports Network.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Manchester with a football. Smith cuts his way up. He'll pick up a yard. We want to thank our sponsors for this afternoon's ball game, the Indiana Army National Guard, who sponsored today's pregame. Culver's, Farm Bureau Insurance, and their agent locally in Micah Bonomo. The Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Great Dane, the Hamilton Center, Lynn's Pharmacy, Riddell National Bank, and York Automotive. O'Brien will set the offense for Manchester as they find themselves in a power-oriented formation, tight end and wing to the top. They'll run jet sweep over to the right side and stuck for about a 4-yard loss for Rose-Hulman, and it's number 11. That's Riley Roberts, the senior from Greenwood, one of the outstanding players for Rose-Hulman. He picked up a nice tackle for loss.
Yeah, one of the senior leader theirs came firing into the backfield and shut that one down before it could get going. The Spartans now looking at 3rd and long.
3rd and 13 for Manchester. Ball at the 25-yard line as they signal in the plays. Smith will sit alongside O'Brien in the backfield. They'll run a twins formation. Actually, it's trips here to the bottom of your screen for Manchester. They'll roll out to the side. They've got opportunity, and he's going to throw it down the middle, has a man, and it's short of the first down. It'll bring up 4th down and 6. The ball will rest at the 35, make it 4th and 3. They're going to give him good yardage on that throw, but not enough for the first down, and so out trots the punting unit for Manchester.
It's the first drive of the game for Manchester that hasn't ended in a turnover, so that's a bonus, but boy, still not able to stay on the field. Their defense getting sent right back out there. You got to believe they're getting a little gassed.
Matthew Mason is the punter. He also does the kicking for Manchester. A punt this one is short, shallow punt. It could roll. It does. It'll get down close to the 42-yard line. Rose-Hulman will have it when we return on Indiana Sports Network.
So what do we do before we cross the street?
We look both ways for cars.
No cars. All right, let's go.
But Daddy, why do you have to hold my hand?
To keep you safe. That's why we look for cars. I'm watching out for danger to keep you safe.
Daddy, who watches out for you?
Protect your family and loved ones with Micah Bonomo.
Robertson, he'll throw the fade up to Tyson Lue. He's got it down the sideline. They're going to call an interference call, and nobody's going to be happy about that one on that sideline, as Manchester's going to look and go, what did he do? Well, he fought for the football. Tyson Lue, we thought, could have grabbed that one and hauled it in. He didn't, but with that, it'll be a pass interference call. It looks to go against Manchester, so we'll mark this one off. 15 yards, that'll give him a first down, and Nate Jensen's not really happy with the call, but at the same time, you've got to really go for Rose-Hulman right now, as you saw that hitch cause issues, and they've got a sideline warning on Manchester.
Boy, they've really been attacking Markel Jackson so far in this, and you wonder if they saw something on the videotape before the game. But
well, I know what they saw is right now Tyson Lue, it matched up on anybody in this conference, has the height and athletic ability to beat people coverage-wise one-on-one. Inside Ruperta, nope, they're going to throw the little screen out to the outside again. Here he goes down the sideline. He'll pick up about 8 yards. They'll give him 7, and it'll be second down and 3.
Good block by Jalen Hobbs out on the edge.
Again, you take Hobbs and Hury on that front side, and then you throw a really nice Alex Gresscock, the senior, blocking out front. There's another quick screen, and a kid in a seam down inside the 15. He's still on his feet. He broke another tackle. He's down to the 22. It'll be first down, Rose-Hulman.
Barry, a little bowling ball out of Katy, Texas on that one. I think he bounced off everybody on the field and gained about 12 yards.
Daniel Hury has that speed that you just dream about in Division III athletics. He can make and change a game very quickly, and so can number 4, and that's Jalen Hobbs. They use both of them very well. Shovel pass inside to Gresscock. He's got about 4 or 5 yards right up the middle. What a nice little play.
Rose-Hulman sitting up 17, but they're not satisfied with that as they are keeping the tempo up. They've slowed down just a little from the first couple drives, but still big chunks of yardage on every play.
Hury over to the left. They're going to roll to the right side, throw the quick hitch, and he just overthrew him, and that's not a good pass. At the same time, he had a man wide open, and all of those things are boding in Rose-Hulman's favor. They have an opportunity to continue to move the football to bring up 3rd and 5.
Rose-Hulman already over 150 yards of offense on the day.
Well, they've had short field, so they have a lot of points for 150 yards offense. Inside as Ruperta, he's going close. He'll get to the 15-yard line. Now you're going to see as Rose-Hulman go for the field goal, and they are. And one of the nice things about what Coach Jeff Sokol is doing right now is he's just going to take points and keep playing hard and not worry about big play opportunities to try to run scores up early in a ball game. Just going to do what he's wanting to do, and bringing out the kicker in this situation is not a bad thing for Rose-Hulman. He's been accurate, and this will be a 32-yard field goal. Rehberg with the kick. It's up, and another field goal is good for Rose-Hulman. And right away, Rose-Hulman with a 20-0 lead here in the first period of play. We'll return for more on Indiana Sports Network.
There is a greatness inside of you, a passion, a strength, a determination. So embrace it. Embrace the greatness that you bring to everything you do. Embrace the idea that you can do work that makes an impact, work that keeps the country moving forward and our economy strong. Because not everyone has what you have. And that's exactly what connects you to all of us at Great Dane. There's greatness inside of you. Are you ready to embrace it?
You are watching HCAC football at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
So Rose-Hulman will tee it up again. It's 20-0. Rose-Hulman with the lead and in control of this ball game in the first period of play. And it's been their defense that's maintained everything. Yes, Rose-Hulman's moved the ball offensively at will until they got down inside the 15-yard line or so, and then they've had a little bit of trouble. They've had 4th down and short with 2 yards to go. And again, Coach Sokol has taken the field goal each time, and he's lengthened the lead. It's 20-0, Rose-Hulman. There's the kick they want, down inside and in the end zone, and Manchester will have the ball when we return on Indiana Sports Network.
Treatment for those with mental illnesses and addiction issues has evolved over the years.
In the late 1960s, Indiana's mental health system began to take shape.
From 1971
to 2021,
Hamilton Center has touched the lives of thousands of people
In Central and West Central Indiana,
we are committed to the latest therapies
to improve the quality of life for those with mental illnesses.
treatment works.
Recovery is possible.
And thank you, Indiana.
And we want to thank our sponsor, the Hamilton Center, Manchester with the football. They're going to give it to a different back up the middle, and he's got good yardage. Really nice run up the middle that time.
That was Jalen Love. He's a 5'5 junior out of Avon.
So again, Manchester moves the football. They pick up their first down of the ball game. And they're setting up again. Rose-Hulman in a 4-man front. They'll hand it up the middle. No, the quarterback kept it. Nice run by O'Brien. He'll pick up another first down.
Yeah, that's the first misdirection we've seen from Manchester, and it worked pretty well. Rose-Hulman, that's the first time we've seen them on kind of off balance on defense.
So Manchester with another first down. They've moved the football well here. And Manchester with the football at the 46-yard line. They're going to hand it in. Nope, he keeps it again. O'Brien with the run off the edge. He's going to pick up another couple yards. Give it about 4 or 5.
Well, we saw the Spartans mainly trying to go through the air so far before this drive, but they've decided to kind of stick with the ground game. That's a little more what they're comfortable with. At least it has been so far through the season, and it's paying some dividends.
Well, historically, Manchester's been a running offense, and at least under Nate Jensen, and I would assume that they're going to try to continue to run the football and see if they can move things in there. Now, run off the right side will pick up no gain, as, again, number 20 with that carry, running back Jalen Love from Avon with the carry. It's 3rd and 7.
Now they put themselves in another kind of predictable passing down here. So we'll see if Rose keeps the pressure up. They've done a good job so far of really getting on the quarterback on 3rd down.
So a big 3rd down play for Rose-Hulman. Again, Rose-Hulman leads 20-0 here in the first quarter. Rose showing blitz. They bring 6. Throw it off the side. A nice pass outside and another first down for Manchester as Love connects with that football and picks up about 10 yards on the play. It'll be first down for the Manchester Spartans.
Yeah, that was a nice little swing play there. He broke one tackle, and I believe that's first down of the game.
Well, that's the 3rd one in this drive. They've really done a nice job in driving the ball. Love, though, should have been picked up by the outside linebacker who was blitzing. Instead, he kept coming for the quarterback and gave him an opportunity. Inside run, no. O'Brien, again, nice run. Down, he's got the first down. He'll pick up about 14 yards. And Manchester is driving the football and looking good offensively when we saw no life the first 4 series.
Yeah, they're getting good blocking from not only the line, but the receivers are doing a good job opening up the outside.
Just under 4 minutes left to go here in the first period, where the score is 20-0, a Rose-Hulman. 3 receivers to the top of the screen. They're going to look. Pass. They've got another open player, and Love falls down. He had him wide open. He could have picked up 4 or 5, and that little pass would have been about as good as it was on any type of run for them right now.
Impressed with LeVar Leisure on the far side, number 5. He's really been pretty impressive blocking, but, man, he's been open a few times. They're not really looking for him yet, but he was a big weapon for them in the last week.
Now Love takes the ball, and he's nailed for a 2-yard loss. They'll make it a 3-yard loss. He didn't get back. He got to the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 13 from the 30. And Manchester, to get back in this ball game, desperately needs to put some points on the board on this drive. And we're just in the first quarter where Rose-Hulman has dominated. 2 interceptions returned. In a couple nice pass plays, they've had opportunities. They've scored 4 times. It's 20-0, 2 field goals and 2 touchdowns. And Rose-Hulman is in the position to put the ball game away early. O'Brien throws a fade down the sideline. It's out of bounds, and that will bring up a 4th down. And don't be surprised if Manchester goes for it here. They're in kind of no man's territory. You don't want to punt. It would be a 47-yard field goal if they try a field goal, and their kicker did not look like he had that range. He was accurate, but in warm-ups, he was good from about 40. So this may be a little bit out of his range, and it is. They're going to go for this one. 4th and 13. If you're going to dial up a play, you're going to have some kind of vertical one-on-one pass route, and it could be here to the bottom of your screen as they have 3 receivers to the left side. He's going to roll. He's got a man open in the corner. Oh, he threw that inside. 2 men potentially, or 1 man potentially wide open. He couldn't get him the ball. Turnover on downs, and Rose-Hulman takes possession.
At Lynn's Pharmacy, we're more than just your pharmacist. We're your neighbors.
Our kids go to the same schools. We eat at the same restaurants.
We sit next to you in church.
When I listen to a symptom.
When I fill a prescription.
When I offer advice, I'm not just helping a customer. I'm helping my neighbor and a friend. My name is Lynn Hofstetter, and I'm the proud owner of Lynn's Pharmacy, a modern pharmacy with old-fashioned values and personal service, dedicated to keeping you, your family, and our community healthy since 1872.
Here at Lynn's Pharmacy, downtown Brazil.
Jet again. They're going to pull it to the outside. He gets knocked out of bounds, picked up 2 or 3 yards, and that's really all Rose-Hulman needs on that play. As, again, number 2, and that's Daniel Hury with this one. He'll pick up 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6. 1:30 left to go here in the first period. Bunch, they'll throw it. They got a man open. They'll get to Hury on the outside. He breaks the tackle. He'll pick up the first down. So Hury dives for that one, picks up that first down, and Rose-Hulman is again moving the chains and continuing in this hurry-up spread offense. Looking inside, they'll throw it quick again and to the outside. Rose-Hulman is using that quick passing series just like they would a run. He's open. He's going to do it. Don't be surprised if they pull up and throw the bomb on this one or throw that little quick fade. One of those receivers will not block. They'll just take off and run past someone.
Yeah, they're drawing the linebackers up a little bit, and it's been working all game for them so far.
2 receivers at the top, 2 to the bottom. They're going to throw and run the jet again. Nice turn up by Hury, and he's going to pick up about a yard on this one, and it'll bring up 3rd and 3.
It was a good stop by Haley Smith, the safety for Manchester. He's a junior out of Indianapolis.
And again, Rose-Hulman having that opportunity to move the football. About 25 seconds left to go here in the first period. Rose-Hulman with a 20-0 lead. They'll fake it to Ruperta. And Robinson up in there, and he's going to get sacked. And that's not what Rose-Hulman needs. They don't need that young man getting beat up any. And he's saying, that's okay, let's go. It's 4th down and 6, and don't be surprised if Rose-Hulman punts this one.
Yeah, big Derek Doss got in there. Another junior out of Indianapolis. He's 5'11", 325. That's a big boy, Ben.
End of the first period of play. Rose-Hulman with a 20-0 lead. Will return for more on Indiana Sports Network.
At Lynn's Pharmacy, we're more than just your pharmacist. We're your neighbors.
Our kids go to the same schools.
We eat at the same restaurants. We sit next to you in church.
When I listen to a symptom.
When I fill a prescription.
When I offer advice, I'm not just helping a customer. I'm helping my neighbor and a friend. My name is Lynn Hostetter, and I'm the proud owner of Lynn's Pharmacy, a modern pharmacy with old-fashioned values and personal service dedicated to keeping you, your family, and our community healthy since 1872.
Here at Lynn's Pharmacy, downtown Brazil.
You are watching Rose-Hulman football on the Indiana Sports Network. You are watching HCAC football at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
And welcome back to Rose-Hulman, where the Fighting Engineers are really doing a nice job moving the football, and you have a score as well. What do you have?
Yeah, it's the women's soccer match, which is right next door to us over here. They are up 7-0 about halfway through the second period. They've absolutely put the wood to Earlham so far today.
And punting the ball for Rose-Hulman is Andrew Toller from Bidwell, Ohio. He steps back in the spread punt formation, snaps there. Punt is up and good pressure, but he gets one off down. And here comes Smith in the open field. He'll make a cut, another cut, and he'll go down at about the 32. Manchester with a football when we return on Indiana Sports Network.
Your all-pro running back Jonathan Taylor here for York Automotive. Looking for an all-pro deal on your next car, truck, or SUV? York is my #1 pick. With over 600 vehicles in stock, York has the largest selection to meet your needs. We're talking new, pre-owned, and commercial vehicles. Take it from one all-pro to another, York has your best deal.
Shop online at yorkautomotive.com and we'll show you why we're not #1, you are.
We're not #1.
You are.
You're #1 at York.
You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
And you can't say we don't have flyovers here at Rose-Hulman, as we just had a flock of geese go right down Main Street. And it was kind of nice to see here in this early fall day. But with that, Manchester was flagged for a block in the back on that punt, which brought it all the way back to the 10-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Manchester with their back to their goal line. O'Brien with control of the Manchester offense. Rose with a quick shift. They're going to hand it off inside, and he's going to gain nothing.
Yeah, we saw Manchester able to move the ball pretty well last drive, but they couldn't finish it off. But, boy, they're in a hole to start this one.
And when we look at what's going on today, again, Rose-Hulman with multiple attempts because of turnovers, and Manchester's had those. Rose-Hulman's had 10 first downs in the first half. They've rushed the ball 10 times for 42 yards. They've had 126 yards in the air. Inside run by Love. He'll pick up about 6 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 4. And for Rose-Hulman, Robertson, 10 of 13. Again, 126 yards. For Trevor O'Brien, he's 3 of 8 for 19 yards and 2 interceptions. He has been able to actually run the football, and they've run it off of their inside zone and what's going on. So here it is again. Manchester with a football, 3rd and 4. Looking to pass inside. They've got a screen. They set it up really nicely, and he's held in check short of the first down, or they're going to give it to him. This one says they do. The headlines judge made that call, said it is a first down for Manchester. They reach the 20-yard line. They'll move the chains.
It's important for them to stay on the field a little bit more. Their defense has been put to the test so far, and they've slowed Rose down a little bit, but, boy, they really need to get some points to stay in this ball game.
Manchester with the football. Love inside. He'll pick up about 2 yards. So Manchester trying to control things. It got out of hand for them early in the ball game, and from that point on, they've moved the football well enough to stay in control of this one, but it does look like we have a new quarterback in for Manchester, number 15, and that's Eric James in the ball game. He's 5'11", 160-pound junior from Indianapolis. and more of that passing and then option style, that one-back option style offense, and that's what Manchester's running right now, and they've gone with a different quarterback. James is listed as the backup. He's from Decatur Central High School. Looking to throw the quick one. He gets it out there. Here's Smith down the left sideline, and he gets out of bounds. He'll pick up about 10. Make it a 13-yard gain. The ball rests at the 35-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Manchester.
Yeah, T.J. McCray stuck his hand out there, almost swatted that down, but it ended up being a pretty good gain for the Spartans.
David Smith, the running back from Indianapolis, on that catch and carry. Smith from North Central High School in Indianapolis. He's now the single back, setting back there with number 15. That's Eric James. Inside run by Smith. He'll pick up another 2 yards. They haven't had a chance to really run the inside zone and do very well on Rose-Hulman, where they've made their yardages off the edge, off the fake, and then they've done a nice job in faking it, but Rose-Hulman's going to have to make sure they contain the quarterback and running back off the edge if they're going to hold Manchester from scoring. 3 receivers, top of your screen. They're going to hand it off to Smith in the ISO inside. He'll plug away and pick up another 3 yards. It gets it up over the 40-yard line.
Yeah, to go back to what you were saying, Rose-Hulman's got 7 guys in the box. There's really not been any threat of a deep ball from Manchester so far, other than the one long 3rd down play. But Rose-Hulman doing a good job. They're, like you said, though, watch the edges. That's where they could get burnt.
Well, when you get your first 2 throws picked, it makes you not want to throw the football a lot. And although they've changed quarterbacks, that opportunity still exists, and Rose-Hulman has a very good secondary compared to what some of the other teams in the league do. Roberts on the blitz, doesn't get there. They throw the quick out over the top. Incomplete pass. That'll bring up, again, another opportunity in 4th down for Manchester, and they should bring the punting unit out. They have not reached the 50, and here comes the punting unit. So IU and Michigan are tied 10-10 at halftime. That's one of the scores we're just given in my ear on this one. And good football day for everybody here in the state of Indiana. Gorgeous day, 60 degrees, not a lot of wind, just enough breeze to make things fun. Punts off and picked up and over to the left side, and now here he goes down that left sideline with a convoy. He could bring this one all the way back. It is Yuri down inside, and he doesn't get there. That's Hobbs on the return. And Hobbs with a great return down to the 20-yard line. Very short field. Here's the problem. There's a flag on the field. Rose-Hulman will have the football in return, and they'll have it at the 23-yard line.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives. And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
So at the 23-yard line, Rose-Hulman will have it. A block in the back brought it all the way back. And those are the expensive ones. If you get somebody behind that one, though, happened right in front of the official, right in front of where Hobbs was. And so when that flag hit the ground, you could just immediately tell what was going to be a block in the back. And that block probably sprung him on the long run to start with. Robertson with the troops, gathering them up at the 23. Play action pass. He's going deep. Went post corner. Wide shot. Great throw and catch. And Hobbs with that catch goes out of bounds at the 45. That's a huge timing play, and Rose-Hulman on the move.
Yeah, that was a great move by Hobbs. He got Yandel Victoriano just headed towards midfield, turned around, ran to the outside, got a nice big gain on that one.
Ruperta takes the counter up the middle. He'll go for about 5 yards, and a really nice set of blocks that time sprung by the offensive line as well as the H-back in Alex Gresscock, who went right up the middle and opened it up just like a snowplow. 3 receivers to the top. Gresscock as your tight end. Ruperta in the backfield. Circles out, got a man down the middle. Nice curl and a good catch. Hobbs just barely brought that one in as he kind of fumbled the ball. That's one of those coaches are like, why did you not catch that one without fumbling? It was a beautiful pass. He just had a hard time bringing it in.
You could tell Hobbs' speed has got in Manchester's heads as they're playing pretty far off of him.
Quick screen out to the edge, and here goes the lightning in a bottle, and he makes 3 guys miss, 4. He's still going down to the 20-yard line, and Daniel Hury is making a highlight film out of this game. Huge play and a first down for Rose-Hulman.
Yeah, Hury's one of those guys you've got to wrap up. You can't just go with this guy's upper body because he just spins and twists out of it almost every time.
3 receivers to the top of your screen. Hury and Hobbs out to the right. They'll give it to Ruperta up the middle on the counter play again. They wrap it up in there. And again, Gresscock with the block, key block up the middle. The linemen are doing a nice job in opening a seam. And with that lead and ISO, man, they're really going after him here on the inside. 3 receivers in a bunch to the bottom of your screen. Robertson pump fake, there's a deep one, and it is a touchdown, Rose-Hulman. They fake the screen, hit it right up the middle, and a touchdown for Gresscock as he takes that one in. Alex on the reception. He's from Havre de Grace, Maryland, a senior, 6'1", 220. He scores, and Rose-Hulman goes up 26-0 here in the second period.
Yeah, finally getting the tight end involved a little bit. We're getting everybody in on the party today. 26-0 already.
Very nice play. Good play call. You could see him setting it up, or at least I can, up here. And just a really nice job by the offensive coordinator for Rose-Hulman and getting that one in. Kick is up. Reber gets that one up and in, and he's perfect on the day. And 27-0 is our score when we return for more action on Indiana Sports Network.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Yeah.
You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
27-0, Rose-Hulman, and they've gotten a lot of people into action. Where they're really gaining their advantage right now are the speed guys, Daniel Hury, and if you're looking at Jalen Hobbs, they've used them quite well. Frick and frack, if you want to say. You just turn one loose and the other one gets loose the next play, and it's just back and forth. And then a really nice job in creating gaps up the middle. Ruperta's run strong. He's picked up yardage and moved the chains and keeps Manchester off balance by the running attack up the middle. Connor Whitesell will pound this one, gets it deep. He'll take it out. And Smith gets nailed about the 24-yard line. That's where Manchester will have it when we return for more football.
So what do we do before we cross the street?
We look for ways for cars.
No cars. All right, let's go.
But Daddy, why do you have to hold my hand?
To keep you safe. That's why we look for cars. I'm watching out for danger to keep you safe.
Daddy, who watches out for you?
And loved ones with Micah Bonomo.
Manchester with a football. 1st and 10 at the 25. They're going to hand it off to Smith inside. He'll pick up about 3 yards this time on a nice run. Again, the quarterback on this series, Indianapolis. And that's Again, running back is David Smith from Indianapolis. And 2nd and 7. Running it. No, they're going to throw it outside. And a little quick toss, and he'll take him down at the 31. Completed to number 8, and that is the tight end Peyton Frye, 5'8", from Indianapolis.
Off his speed as he tracks him down on that one, makes a nice open field tackle.
3rd and 4. Again, Manchester needs to put points on the board here before the half. It's 27-0. Blitz! That ball went out of bounds at about the 15-yard line, and the white hat is the umpire is. I'm sorry, that's what you just football coach said. Hey, what's a white? And with that, the ball's going to go out of bounds, placed at the 15-yard line, and now you're going to punt the ball with your punt at or near the goal.
They don't have the strongest punter. It's Matthew Mason, who's just averaging about 25 yards per punt.
Hobbs back at the 40. He gets a good one on this one. Picks it up at the 47. Has a chance to run. Goes outside. He's got the speed, and he's got people in front of him. Can he move? Make that cut. The Fighting Engineers.
Boy, you always get a little tense when you see the guy take a few steps backwards, but boy, he knew what he was doing as everything opened up on the left side.
And the ball wasn't snapped, moved. 2nd and goal from the 8. Looking, speed option, he'll pitch it out. Here goes, lays down the left sideline. Touchdown.
On the ground through the extra has had no answer for the Engineers.
33-0 is the score right now. Reberg out to attempt the extra, doing what they need to do and very.
It's inside of you. A strength, a determination. So embrace it. Embrace the greatness that you bring to everything you do. Embrace the idea that you can do work that makes an impact. Work that keeps the country and our economy strong. Because not everyone has what you have. And that's exactly what
that work is provided
to me, that I could lose it. I found help, I found hope, I found recovery. I regained something lost.
This game is presented.
And the defense, although missing a couple players from what they thought they would have at the start of the year with season.
Manchester's found a little bit of success on the ground, but boy, without an aerial assault here in the second half, they're not going to have much hope. But boy, if you're them, you just
run it outside. And Manchester, actually it's number 15, I'm sorry. That's Eric James.
Manchester only averaging about 2 yards per rush.
Back has an opportunity.
Has been on the attack ever.
Control the line of scrimmage. And the Fighting Engineers are playing good football today. They'll bring the house. They've got a man open and nothing. Could not get it. Again, attempted for, who has 2 receptions for 31 yards on the day. Wasn't able to get the ball to him that time. It'll bring up 4th down.
I threw that one pretty quick. Leger wasn't really turned yet and behind him, but they are going to go for it here.
And I don't blame him. 3:31 left. They've got a wing. Rose showing blitz. They bring it. Play action. They'll throw a quick slant. Got a man. Did he hit him early? They're going to say he did. Went through his back. Just hit him too early. That'll be a first off of the pass interference call.
Manchester hasn't caught many.
Yard penalty, and Manchester will have the ball 1st and 10, close to that 20-yard line. We'll say it's at the 22 and inside.
Sands has been tough in there. The whole line's been playing really well all game.
Inside run again, and they're going to go nowhere. They'll lose a half a yard or a yard. See the sticks moving back on that one. So that'll bring 3rd down and 9. Football coach in the stadium and one of the top 3 in the country. 4th down and 9. Ball rests just at the 21-yard. Manchester may go for that on the issue for Manchester, as we'll see what they decide to do on this one.
You are watching Rose-Hulman football on the Indiana Sports Network.
And Rose Robertson. 3rd and 5 for Rose-Hulman. Two receivers solid for them with a go, ball resting at the 29, and a player's down and injured, and that's not what either team.
Butterburger to order for you, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Dro from Hialeah, Florida, is the injured player. Walks off a little gingerly. Let's hope he can return back to action shortly. Rose-Hulman, play action. Robertson has him up on the side to Smith, makes a cut, makes a man miss, makes another man miss. He's short. It'll be 2nd and 5.
We do before we cross the street.
We look for ways for cars.
No car.
Protect your family and loved ones with Micah Bonomo.
Down, and it is, more importantly, it stops the clock. 36 seconds left to go. The ball, the first two you mentioned there, and there is nobody on him.
Cherry's second receiving touchdown of the day. That puts him right.
We need you. Build something bigger for yourself and your family with great health benefits, advancement.
A complete package today as we got a squib kick.
Really nice job. That'll stop the clock there with 19 seconds left to go in the first half. We'll keep this one in. Micah Bonomo, the Christian athletes. Great Dane, Hamilton Center, Lynn's Pharmacy, and Riddell National Bank. Manchester moves it up in there. Smith with a great carry. Best.
You are watching HCAC football at Rose-Hulman.
That fly, they pull it clear. 19. That
win their soccer match to Earlham 7-0. So a pretty dominant win there. They remain undefeated in the HCAC.
Of offense and defensive prowess by Rose-Hulman in this ball game. They've just dominated. A lot better than he's 21 of 20, and you can see that just in the first half. 3 rounds, a long throw of 30 yards. He's been sacked one time, but he's just been on fire. Receiving for Rose-Hulman, Yuri with 9 receptions for 97. Hobbs, 3 receptions for 44. Tice Salou, 3 receptions for 44. 7 total tackles. So, Chaikau So has their offensive 62 yards, has 1 touchdown. He's been sacked 1 time. He has done a nice job. His quarterback rating is very high, where O'Brien has one of the lowest quarterback ratings I've seen. He's 3 for 8 to be in the ball game right now. And rushing the ball, Smith with 39 yards.
And addiction issues has evolved over the years.
In the late 1960s, Indiana's mental health system began to take shape.
If somebody's kind of on the fence,
this is a great choice for you quickly.
I took more and more to get through my day.
I did anything to get them.
I needed help. I needed hope. I found them both.
Professional.
Yeah, it's been a quick one. I'll tell you what, the way Rose started was really impressive. The speed on offense today, a little more than I expected anyway. You've seen them a little bit more than me, but they're going to be tough to beat in the HCAC this year. There's a reason they were picked at the top preseason.
Well, and with that opportunity, because they're able to continue to have positive goals as far as kicking. Reberg kicks the ball very accurately. I'd like to see him get
As every facet of the game, they've held strong. And, if you're Manchester, you're coming out try to make this thing respect here on the Sports Network.
Saturdays, not only are to do a lot of those, as Rose-Hulman is one of our partners in what we're doing, and again, Rose-Hulman is just a great place to be, the #1 ranked engineering program in the country. They do a great job with what's going on, as well as we see some of our sponsors doing a good job. York Automotive is our transportation sponsor for Indiana Sports Network. They have a location.
Wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team.
And welcome us in what's happening. Just a few minutes left to go here in halftime. And again, Rose-Hulman with an outstanding play. North Dakota State has taken a lead over Indiana State. And a very short one. Again, Indiana State holding on to this one. That's a huge on the way there. The North Dakota State, they have a huge semi they take to each ball game.
A little while ago about how strong all of the athletics here are at Rose-Hulman, and I think a lot of that comes down to the coaches of each. And of course, Rose-Hulman seasons 3 in conference competition. I mean, he's been pretty dominant since he showed up on the scene here in Terre Haute, and obviously he's had Manchester's number along with that. But he has a master's degree from, and then the head
for Coach Sokol as well. The MIAA and the HCAC have played. He's at Manchester. He'd been at Defiance. He's been at Earlham when Earlham had a program for a year. He's friends with, in all of these. And when we look at it, again, good football in the conference. The conference really didn't win very many games outside the actual conference, but at the same time, very competitive with all the schools in the HCAC. We'll pause for a moment. We'll be right back with the start of the second half. You're watching Indiana. Not too long before we get started on it, and Rose-Hulman will have that opportunity. They took the opening drive, and again, we'll see what's happening. Manchester will have the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, Rose-Hulman got the ball to start with, scored within the first minute of the game, immediately intercepted Manchester, took that down for another field goal, and then another interception led to the second Rose touchdown. So it was 17.
Recruiting members into their societies.
Nice.
The Army National Guard, or excuse me, the Army Corps of Engineers. So, again, really good opportunity for these young people to be involved and to learn what it's like to live on their own and do the things they're supposed to do. And this place prepares them extremely well.
Looks like we're about ready to go here in the second half.
And new kicker for Rose-Hulman, and Rose-Hulman, I popped him right in the face on that one. So he had a hard time gathering that ball in. In at quarterback, Eric James, who had a pretty good first half. 2nd and 8 for Manchester.
It's a nice tackle down there by Jake Ivanich. He's a junior out of Utah.
Getting the signals. Both sides are getting what they want. That's another thing for Rose-Hulman. They don't practice quite as long as some other schools because they just know their guys have to study. Inside run again for Smith. He makes one man miss, and he's hauled down and for no gain.
Vonich again. So
down play. 3rd and 7 this time. 41-7 is our score. Rose-Hulman with the lead, commanding lead this ball game. And very fortunate, because if he did, that's probably a good move, because he didn't have anybody over there to throw the football to. Punt formation for the Spartans. Waiting at about 30 yards, the punt is off. And it's very short, out of bounds, no chance for a return this time. And we'll return for more action on Indiana Sports Network.
I'm All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor for York Automotive. York is my #1 pick for your next car, truck, or SUV. Shop from over 600 vehicles at yorkautomotive.com today.
#1.
You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
And for Rose-Hulman, New quarter. Yard line is Lance Shelton, who picked that one up, the senior. He's 5'4", 165 from Kansas City, Missouri. I will say, and I'm going to say this when this sounds really weird, but he's missed him. So that'll be a turnover on downs, and Manchester will have the football.
You can do work that makes an impact, work that keeps the country moving forward and our economy strong, because not everyone has what you have. And that's all of us.
For the junior from Mableton, Georgia, and he's had a pretty nice ball game as a wide receiver. They just haven't gotten the ball to him enough. Motion across, they'll fake the jet, hand the ball inside to Smith, and he's going to pound it up in there for a couple of yards. Looking inside, corner blitz off the edge. They're going to get Smith. He's going to pick up about 4 yards. 3rd and 4. Outside, pump. Look for the screen. They pound it up in there, and they get nothing. Really nice job. Good stop. 4th down, and Manchester will be forced to punt. So the tie that Indiana had in the ball game was erased. And
found help. I found
Rose-Hulman with the football, the fake the sweep off the edge and hand the ball in the middle. They're going to pick up 2 yards. And I'll tell you what, I'd be going with the Daniel Hury on that jet sweep as well.
Yeah, he's been pretty effective so far today. There's been a few of them we've already talked about quite a bit. That impressive speed for Rose.
Inside it.
Yeah, Rose-Hulman. Next week at Bluffton, like you said, they're not, field position, trying to keep Manchester backed up a little bit. And, they've had the ball longer than Rose so far in the second.
Going rush, and they only bring partial. Huge punt. This is a huge difference. Having a hard time finding more action on Indiana.
One of those drugstores there today, Lynn's Pharmacy. Lynn's Pharmacy has grown from a small neighborhood drugstore to a modern pharmacy, offering prescriptions and medical equipment with old-fashioned.
One for Manchester.
Well, that's a good fake, but the ball was left on the ground.
Manchester averaging just
back to the original line of scrimmage. Points on the board, but they're just not able to move the football very well. And again, a lot of second teamers shows Hulman in this second hang 5. Instead of being their 3-3 stack, they're in a 5-1, and they bring them. And here they come. Quick out. Does he break the tackle? He doesn't break it at Missouri. 125.
Good.
He drops the football. In this ball game, and
you got it.
And they've gotten a couple good rushes here, but momentum kind of changed in this one. They got the turnover, and now they're moving the football. 4:39 in the third period. They're going to hand it off to Love again down the middle. He could go in. He's down to the 2. They'll say the 1. That's a good hard run by the young man.
Yeah, we kind of saw the stop here, or at least.
They're going to pound it up. Is that offensive possession for Manchester? They capitalize and put it in the end zone. It's 41
on the day, and I believe Rose has 10 points off the Manchester turnovers, and now
Let us make you a meal.
Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Yeah.
Manchester 14, and a beautiful day in Indiana. We get prepared for this kickoff as well. Again, a beautiful day. You can't ask for better weather than this one. If you're playing football, you want it to be 55, 60 degrees, sunshine, so it's not too cold, but at the same time, you don't want to be sweating and have problems with things like cramps or anything that way. It's just a nice, pleasant day for the guys to play football. In the stands, you want that sweatshirt. You want to feel a little bit better about what's going on, and with homecoming here going on in Rose-Hulman, it's a beautiful day. Here's the kickoff. Deep, they'll get it down to the 10-yard line. Hobbs with the football over the left side. He's got a chance. He makes the turn on the corner and just gets hauled in at about the 34-yard line, where Rose-Hulman will take over 1st and 10 when we return on Indiana Sports Network.
At Great Dane, we are proud to invest in our people and the communities we call home. We are hiring now for trailer assemblers and welders across the country. We need the makers, people who are ready to make a difference. We need you. Build something bigger for yourself and your family with great health benefits, advancement opportunities, 401k, pension, and more. Apply today at greatdane.com/careers.
Rose-Hulman with the football. They'll hand it off inside. It's Smith, and they're just powering it down inside. He'll pick up 6 yards. That was a brute force power play, and Rose-Hulman won the line of scrimmage that time. It's 2nd and 4.
At tick-tock goes the clock. That's the name of the game for Rose-Hulman.
And we saw them run and exercise a very fast, hurry-up offense. This one's not as fast. They're just consistently running the football. Gresscock in motion. They'll hand it off to Smith again. He breaks 1 tackle. He's got about 3 that time. It'll bring up 3rd and 1 for the Fighting Engineers.
Real quick update from over on the soccer fields. Rose-Hulman men lead Earlham 1-0 about halfway through the first half. The goal by, looks like Jacob Pohl scored for the Engineers.
3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. Again, different quarterback for Rose-Hulman. They're playing their 2nd-string guy, and Rick Easterwood. He's a sophomore from Bakersfield, California, and he's done a nice job so far. Smith with the first down and extra as well. It'll put him up to about the 50-yard line. It'll put him over the 50, the 49. So you got 49 to score here on this drive.
It's like Devlin Spradlin in there. We're trying to get these guys, we never call their names. They're doing all the dirty work down there, you know. Devlin Spradlin on the offensive line along with Justin Pearson.
Manchester again running that 4-2-5 offense, or 4-2-5 defense, excuse me. Give inside to Smith. He'll turn the corner and get it up in there, and he fights for extra yardage. He'll pick up 8 yards on the carry. Really nice run for Jay Smith, the freshman. You don't see a lot of freshmen for Rose-Hulman. And you'll say, well, why is that? That's a good thing. That means the guys that are the little bit older, a little bit stronger, and a little bit tougher are getting those opportunities. But if you see a freshman for Rose-Hulman, that means he's a pretty special player. And Smith fits the mold here of being that special guy. You can see he really can run the football, and they're giving him the opportunity. Great blocks up front. Smith hits the open field, and he goes down to the 30-yard line. Another quality run for Rose-Hulman.
Boy, and the thing you notice about the Rose backs across the board, there's no dancing around in the backfield. It's north and south. The wheels never stop turning. The legs are churning all the way, and boy, they've done a lot of damage today.
Smith is 5'9", 180. And he has a little bit of wiggle to him, but more importantly, he runs with his low pads. Center of gravity for him really helps him gain yardage after that contact. And he's done a great job with it so far. A 3-4 defense now showing up for Manchester, and they're letting him run the football. Motion across, power play up the middle, gets the ISO, and they're just continuing to run forward. Another 4-yard gain for Smith.
Rose-Hulman wisely getting the play clock down to around 10 or 12 before they're running each play. Over 150 rushing yards now for the Engineers today.
Waiting on the play clock on this one. 21 seconds, and they're going to have to run. No, they won't have to run one. They're just going to run the clock out here in the third period, as the play clock has more on it than the game clock. So with that, they don't have to run another play, and they're running it all the way down. And we will be headed to the fourth quarter with Rose-Hulman leading 41-14.
Gen Z is a stall generation.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
At a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
You are watching HCAC football at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
So we'll head to the fourth period of play, 41-14, Rose-Hulman with the lead and the football. And with that opportunity, you'll see him slow down even more, and that clock will run. And so not near as many plays as what we had in the first half. And Troy, when you see this one, the statistics prove Rose-Hulman's moved the football very effectively, but more importantly, in the showing on the field, they are just dominant up front right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Their offensive line has pretty much pushed Manchester's defense wherever they want to, and vice versa. The Rose-Hulman defensive line has shut down the Manchester running attack, except for that last drive, we'll say, I guess, but overall very well for both of them.
Play action. No, they're going to throw their little screen, and here he goes again. Down the right side, down in the middle. He's going to back it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rose-Hulman. And what a nice play by Daniel Urey. Great blocking up front. Grescott got a block on that one. I believe the other one was number 3, and Jacob Nana-Fabu. He also got a block in, and Urey, with his speed, he hits the open field, and it is nothing but pure delight for the Rose-Hulman fans.
And he's got the hat trick on the day, 3 rushing touchdowns for Urey, as he's now up to 124 yards.
And the kick is up and is good as well. And that kick by number 15, and that's Jonathan Oliger. He puts the extra point in. Rose-Hulman leads 48-14.
At Lynn's Pharmacy, we're more than just your pharmacist. We're your neighbors.
Our kids go to the same schools. We eat at the same restaurants.
We sit next to you in church.
When I listen to a symptom.
When I fill a prescription.
When I offer advice, I'm not just helping a customer. I'm helping my neighbor and a friend. My name is Lynn Hofstetter, and I'm the proud owner of Lynn's Pharmacy, a modern pharmacy with old-fashioned values and personal service, dedicated to keeping you, your family, and our community healthy since 1872.
Here at Lynn's Pharmacy, downtown Brazil.
You are watching Rose-Hulman football on the Indiana Sports Network.
So Rose-Hulman with a 48-14 lead. Daniel Urey with the screen pass again. When he's taken 2 of those to the house, and you put him in the open field, give him a seam, and he's going to take it. Extremely quick and athletic young man. And again, Rose-Hulman just dominating with all phases of the football game. 1 turnover in the ball game, which led to a touchdown for Manchester, but the rest has been purely North Putnam, or North, excuse me, Riverton. I'm looking at these. I'm having a bad day right now. Not enough sleep last night, folks. And here we go, a nice return for Manchester. Get it to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, David Smith, a really good return on that, spinning, breaking some tackles. See if he can get Manchester down the field. Real quick, 2 minutes left across town at ISU, and the Sycamores trail North Dakota State 31-26.
Good showing, but they have an opportunity if they can get a turnover. Rose-Hulman just consistently playing solid defense. And they're going to talk about that kick return. They've had 2 of them where Manchester's had really good returns getting it over the 40-yard line. Almost ended up with too many men on the field, and Love with the carry up the middle, and he gets stuffed, but they went after it. They thought maybe it was a fumble on that one. Love was shoved back with a gain of 1.
Riley Roberts just stuffed him in the hole on that one. That was a great play.
Well, Roberts, that team leader on the inside, and he takes the seat as well after that when he gets called off the field, and now you're seeing a lot of second-teamers in for Rose-Hulman. Oh, offsides. They're going to throw it. And, again, there was contact made prior to the snap. So contact made prior to the snap. Offsides for the Engineers, and Manchester will move the football up to the 50-yard line. Again, Manchester's had opportunities. They just can't finish the drives.
Yeah, they've moved the ball down the field on several occasions today, but as he said, there's always been something go wrong towards the end of the drive.
Back to pass, throwing it off the break, and it almost picked off. In coverage for Rose-Hulman that way is defensive back, that's T.J. McCray, the sophomore from Fayetteville, North Carolina. And he had his eyes set on that potential pick.
We do see another freshman on the field for the Engineers. Marshall Cook has come in at middle linebacker. He's out of Omro, Wisconsin.
Again, 27 different states represented on Rose-Hulman's roster. Spread formation 2-by-2 for Manchester. Showing blitz, here they come, and they got nobody to throw the football to.
Not sure the quarterback and receiver were on the same page on that one. A lot of pressure in the backfield, though.
It'll bring up 4th down, and out comes the punting unit for Rose-Hulman.
Jalen Hobbs going to be back to receive.
And you kick the ball to Hobbs, and you take it into consideration, and he could take that one to the house. He came very close to the last punt return he had. Different substitutions in, and he gets a nice punt this time. They'll roll it all the way inside the 5 down to the 1-yard line, and he finally gets a good punt.
There's a flag down, I think. Thought I saw one.
Nope, he threw his bag down and marked the ball. It'll be at the 2-yard line.
He just dropped it.
Did they just drop another one? And we'll see. The linesman is the one with the talking to the umpire on this one.
I did see, I think it was Eli Silva running on the field at the last second, so Rose-Hulman was a little bit out of whack.
Well, did they have 12? That's what you want to see. Were there 12 men on the field? And here's the bad part. If the guys don't know if there were 12, film will show it. And then the commissioner will get the call, hey, there's 12 guys on the field. These guys, didn't get it.
There's no getting out of that.
And if there's 12 men on the field, if they participated, it's a big penalty. If they didn't participate, it's a 5-yarder. Either way, they would get a first down. So if the flag was dropped, which you said it was, and I missed that one, I'm looking down at the end, and they did mark where it was supposed to be, as far as supposed to be marked after the play. And here we go. Delay of game on the offense.
All that talk, and it's delay a game. All right.
We have to replay the down. And the Manchester coaches find the absolute irony in that one as they're laughing, going, what is that call?
Wouldn't be very happy either after you
here it is.
on
It's a substitution rule. In college football, you have to be able to substitute within a reasonable time, and they'll wait for 5 seconds or so. And everybody substitutes on a punt. That's why they're laughing, because they're like, wait, everybody substitutes like that. You can't hold out for the substitution rule. And they are talking this one over and taking a little bit of time to do it. And Coach Jensen is not a happy camper.
Yeah, he's Still pleading his case over there, isn't he?
He's like, what are you talking about? Come on. So yeah, they're not exactly pleased with that one. But down 48-14, his ire is probably already up as well because he's not real pleased. You get behind in a ball game like this, you want to get over and go home. And with 13:45 left to go in the fourth period, here comes the second punt. He gets this one up, and a fair catch is called for and caught by Hury at the 14-yard line, and that's where Rose-Hulman will have it when we return on Indiana Sports Network.
The Fellowship of Christian Athletes has the mission of leading every coach and every athlete into a growing relationship with Jesus Christ and His church. Through camps and huddles, character coaches, and special events, we are making an impact in West Central Indiana. Check out where you can get involved at our website, wcindianafca.org. FCA, we are the heart and soul in sports.
Rose-Hulman with the football. Handoff inside.
It is final from Memorial Stadium. Indiana State loses to North Dakota State 31-26, but a valiant effort by the Sycamores today. Hand it to them. Tough season so far, but they put on a show today.
Lance Shelton with the last carry, gained 3 yards. 2nd and 7. It's nice to play well, but it's even better when you win. Again, one of those opportunities that just kind of escapes you. Could have been. Shelton again with the carry over the right side. He's not going to gain much, if any, and they're pushing it. It almost looks like a scrum in rugby when they get into that big pile.
Shelton at 40 yards on the day. Smith now the leading rusher for Rose-Hulman. He's got 66 yards.
Well, he should be. He's really he's run the ball very well. Really nice, consistent run. And, it's nice when Easterwood gets in the ball game, too, and has been able to move the football. And mainly it's been running. He can throw the football.
Yeah, he takes pressure off of Robertson. I mean, he kind of led the charge to start the game. But
there comes the draw over the right side, and there he goes. Back to the right sideline. Back inside, he's got a cut back lane. Here goes Shelton down inside. They tomahawk and try to get the football out. Can't do it. The ball's rushed all the way down to the 41, where it'll be first down, Rose-Hulman. They're going to say that they're trying to say he fumbled the football. They're saying he's out of bounds. Nope, there's a penalty flag. I missed that one, too.
Yeah, I did, too.
There's a holding call on Rose-Hulman. He'll still have the first down, but it'll move the football back to the 27-yard line, so it'll be a first down. But at the same time, because it's a spot foul where it occurred, down to the 27, they'll say 28-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, Rose-Hulman. Really nice play call.
Yeah, you just look at the average per rush today for the Engineers, and Hobbs only has 1 carry, so we won't count that. Ruperto with 4.4 per carry, Smith with 6 yards, and then Shelton 9 yards per carry, and he's got 9 attempts.
They're going to hand it. Power goes inside. Nice cut by Shelton, and they're going to call a holding call. And there's some extracurriculars starting to go on. A lot of little extra hits and shoves towards the end of each play, and that can cause both of these teams a lot of grief later on. You don't want to have anybody do anything odd, and they do.
And not only you don't want the injuries, but you got to keep your act together. Manchester's probably pretty frustrated. You've got some younger guys in for Rose.
And a first down for Rose-Hulman. Ball will rest at the 45-yard line, where the Engineers will have it 1st and 10. Again, second team, a lot of second-team players in for Rose-Hulman. And some guys in positions where they normally aren't in those positions. Inside run. Shelton will pick up just a yard.
Looks like John Frusca is in for Rose-Hulman. He's a grad student out of Valparaiso. He's at number 23, the tight end.
Yep. And again, that tight end H-back for Rose-Hulman moves on and off the line and over and helps run the counter plays that the engineers will run. Outside zone, and they'll get outside. Shelton will go out of bounds, and that will be a third down play now. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Look at the schedule for Manchester coming up. They do get to go home for 3 straight weeks. However, it's not an easy road as they play Hanover next week and then Bluffton and Franklin. So, tough sledding coming up for the Spartans.
Well, they've already played Mount St. Joe, who defeated them last week 55-20. And if you're looking at it, pretty comparable score today and what's going on. Rose-Hulman being able to play a lot of guys in the second half if they want to, and that can help. Inside run, and Shelton has close to a first down, but he's going to be 1.5 yards short. So really close now. Do you punt this one and keep the clock running, or do you go up and they're going to try to hustle and draw him off sides?
Oof.
Just about had it. He was over the line and then moved back. And from where we're standing, you could actually see it.
Oh,
he had him again, and he didn't move. And again, in high school football, that's called offsides, and some of the people will be wanting one of those. In college football, somebody has to move to get them. And they may run this one down and just go ahead, and they take the 5-yard penalty or the timeout. They take the timeout, and with that timeout, we'll take one as well. Rose-Hulman leads 48-14.
Treatment for those with mental illnesses and addiction issues has evolved over the years.
In the late 1960s, Indiana's mental health system began to take shape.
From 1971
to 2021,
Hamilton Center has touched the lives of thousands of people
in Central and West Central Indiana.
We are committed to the latest therapies
to improve the quality of life for those with mental illnesses.
Treatment works.
Recovery is possible.
And thank you, Indiana.
This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission from Indiana Sports Network.
48-14, and it's a 4th and 2, and Rose-Hulman will step back to punt. Andrew Toller will get another opportunity to punt the football.
Caleb Irvin has scored twice. The Rose soccer team now leads 3-0 over Earlham.
Spread punt for Rose-Hulman and a basic punt return for Manchester. Pooches that one up, gets it inside the 20. It'll roll down to the 10. He'll take the ball. Smith takes it inside the 10. And Downing there, they'll give him the ball at the 10-yard line. When we return for more action here on Indiana Sports Network.
If somebody's kind of on the fence of going into a recruiting office or just reaching out to a recruiter, I would absolutely encourage it, if anything, just for the information.
We have a lot of enlistment bonuses out there right now, upwards to about $20,000. If you're in college or you plan to be to college, this is a great choice for you, because our organization, we look for students who want to go to college. We also have educational benefits where we pay up to 100% of tuition.
You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
9:01 left to go in the 4th period. Manchester with the football at the 10-yard lines. 90 yards to go. They'll throw it out. They get it out to the running back, but an errant throw. causes that one to go incomplete. And again, pass intended for Cameron Hovey, the running back from Sheridan.
Well, the Rose defense has just taken Manchester out of their comfort zone today. I was just going through some of the stats, and Lejeune and Duriel Moss, I don't think we've called his name all day. He's the leading receiver for the Spartans.
Throw that one away as well. You had pressure in the backfield, potential roughing the passer, and they get one. And that should move the football up the field. A 15-yard penalty should give Manchester a first down. So he threw the football away and then got hit after it was well gone. So personal foul, roughing the passer. It'll be an automatic first down. Manchester with the football now at the 25-yard line.
A few of the other players in there for Rose-Hulman. It looks like Chase Wilkinson, a junior out of Boonville, is in at defensive back. I also see Peyton Grenowitz, senior out of West Chicago, in on the line.
Four-man front for Rose-Hulman. They're going to hammer it in there. Here goes Hovey. Right up the middle, and he just stumbles on that one. 2nd and 1 now for Manchester is, again, another running back in for the Spartans does a nice job, and Cameron Hovey.
Christian Marshall in the game. Christian Meyer, a junior out of Marthasville, Missouri, for the Engineers. So a lot of different names getting into the game right now that we don't normally see.
Yep, they're getting experience, and they need it. Again, Hovey with another carry. He's going to pick up 6. And substitution in. They're going to bring in Smith to run the football now.
There's a lot more noise coming from our left than there was earlier in the game.
Well, and we're right next to the Manchester coaches, and you get pretty frustrated when your team trails like it is right now, and you got other guys coming in. They're trying to get them in the right formation right now, and it's a running-oriented formation. Motion across, and they're going to give it up. Nice play off the side, and they'll get him about 5 or 6 yards. Again, a nice job for Manchester as they continue to drive the football. It is Rose's second team, but at the same time, both sides are learning a little bit about themselves as they continue to move the football. 7:20 left to go in the ball game. Three receivers in a closed front to this side. They're going to play action. He's got a chance. He throws it out there and doesn't get it. The route wasn't run as well as it probably needed to be. They're going to have a flag at the line of scrimmage, potential hold. And we'll see which way it goes. Ineligible man downfield is what the call. And Rose-Hulman's going to take him back. So an eligible man downfield on Manchester. And they'll replay the down.
Justin Sands re-entering the ball game for the Engineers. Get some senior leadership back on that defensive front.
And trying to get it set up. 3rd down. I'll say second down. Got a man deep. He is open, and that's going to be an interference call. That's a pretty good play. And that's one of those where you know your guy is faster than anybody else in the ball game, and he went flying down there. And, again, you can take shots like that if you have speed. They have speed, and it's number 2. The wide receiver is Gabe Melvin, a senior from Jacksonville, Florida, who blew by the Rose-Hulman defender. That'll be another 15 yards and a first down, and multiple 15-yard penalties. They started this drive at the 10, and with a couple 15-yard penalties, you find yourself in pretty good position for Manchester.
Yeah, I think that was Christian Mayer. He just never got his head turned on that one and just ran the receiver over before the ball showed up.
Looking inside, there goes another good run by Manchester. They'll pick up about 5 yards on that one. David Smith, the running back.
Zachary Kohler in for the Engineers, the senior out of Wharton, Ohio. He's got to give Manchester a little boost just to at least see the ball move forward down the field a little bit. They've had a really rough day here, and, you know, it is what you would call garbage time, I guess, but they are making some progress.
Well, they're continuing to compete, and that's a good thing. Looking for that. Inside, it goes to Smith, and Smith will go virtually nowhere inside. They'll give him a yard. Again, trying to move the football up the field. Eric James, the quarterback. And he's taken over after their original quarterback, Trevor O'Brien, really had a rough first quarter. And James has kind of settled the troops, but still not getting a lot of points on the board after that first period of play. James looks again. Sets up, blitz by Rose-Hulman. He's going to throw it deep, and he's got a man. He dropped the ball. That wasn't a bad throw. It was just one of those where he threw it up there and gave his man the opportunity, and he just couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, it was pretty good placement. He threw it just far enough. None of the defenders could get to it. Only his man had a shot at it, but just overshot a little bit.
4th down and 5, and Manchester's going to dial it up and take this one, and why not? They're in that position where they have a chance to get one. 4th and 5. James trying to settle the troops. Blitz is coming, and here it comes. Through the out, got a man open. He's got to go forward, picks up the first down, and gets hammered there. And a nice tackle by Rose-Hulman's number 52. And that's Marshall Cook, the freshman linebacker from Omro, Wisconsin. And I think they've got a good one in him because he just laid some wood to that young man. Nice catch by number 5, the LeVar Lejeune, the junior from Mount Vernon, Indiana.
Lejeune, the leading receiver for the Spartans today.
Looking inside, he'll throw the quick screen out to Lejeune, and he gets stuck right there, and no further does he go. Number 13 for Rose-Hulman, and the defensive back is Chase Wilkinson from Boonville. 4:38 left to go in the ball game. 2nd and 12. I want to thank our sponsors again, the Indiana Army National Guard, Culver's, Farm Bureau Insurance, and Micah Bonomo, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Great Dane, the Hamilton Center, Lynn's Pharmacy, Riddell National Bank, and York Automotive. Play action pass. They'll throw it inside, and he's got a man, and he caught it down inside the 15-yard line. They'll say it's a catch at the 12.
Harrison White into the game for Rose-Hulman at linebacker. He's a junior out of Williamsfield, Illinois.
You know, the only thing I really don't like about that throw is I don't think he's getting his shoulder pointed to the target as well as he needs to. Play. Nope, they're going to hand it off. Smith to the left side. He's down inside the 10, down to the 6-yard line. Still have a chance for a first down here. 2nd and 4. And again, you know this is against Rose-Hulman's second team, but at the same time, Manchester is moving the football. And they give it up again. Smith down inside the 4. They're going to say it's at the 4. We'll bring up 3rd down. 3rd and 2 now for the Spartans.
But as you mentioned, this is pretty good experience for, the second-teamers to get in there and get a little bit of experience, especially against a first-string offense,
Well, nobody's getting beaten up on the Rose-Hulman offense right now. And they need that. Oh, he's got an edge. Pumped. Oh, he had a chance to get in the end zone. He goes down at the 5. Nice fake by James, the junior quarterback. Had a chance to take it in the end zone, and he fell down.
Yeah, just lost his footing there. Turf Monster got him. 4th and 3 now.
48-14 is our score. 2:30 left to go in the ball game. And Manchester's had the football a couple times down here that they didn't score. Motion across. Has a man open in the end zone. No, is it picked? Could have been. And that will end the drive. Rose-Hulman should take over on downs.
Harrison White got his hand in there. Great play by the junior.
So White with the knockdown, and I guarantee you wasn't trying to knock it down. He just dropped the interception on that one, and Rose-Hulman will take over with 2:12. They need to get another first down to run the clock out and see what we can do. We want to thank our camera operators for this afternoon's game, and Kanan Harper and Grant Hainig. And our video technician is Keith Lawson. We're produced and directed by Tony Harper. And again, we really like having the opportunity to do ball games here at Rose-Hulman. Inside run, and a good solid one again by Smith as he'll pick up about 3 or 4 yards. Manchester continues to claw at the football. 2 minutes left to go in the ball game.
So what are your overall impressions of Rose today? I mean, they were both sides of the ball looking
They were
great.
really consistent, with, especially early on, the onslaught. Manchester just wasn't able to hold on. They were trying to do too much too quickly, and when they did that, throwing the football off the back of your foot, throwing it up in the air just gave them 2 quick picks, and those picks led to 10 points. So 10 points of the first 20 were caused from turnovers, but the others were caused because Rose-Hulman's moving the football pretty well. Inside run by Smith, and he'll get close to the first down yardage. He'll be a yard short. It'll be 3rd and 1.
This will be a feel-good win for Rose. I mean, solid through and through. Next week they head to Bluffton, looking for a 3rd straight conference win this season.
Well, and they start out with some of the weaker teams in the conference. I'm not saying that to be mean or nasty, but Rose-Hulman looks at their schedule, and they've got some bigger fish to fry here later in the season. And I think the non-conference schedule has given them an opportunity to really play better. They played 2 really good non-conference teams to start the year. This is an important 3rd down just to run the clock out. Smith will take the football. He'll get the first down, and that should end the ball game without too much ado, and there it is. So the first down, and they can let the clock run without doing anything in this one. And Rose-Hulman comes up with the victory. We'll keep this one on, and you can watch Rose-Hulman go through their post-game celebration here. Homecoming. Rose-Hulman will win the football game 48-14. And again, just an outstanding ball game. Troy, it's been good having you here as to help out with color commentary and do those kinds of things. I know it's probably a good thing to have you do this one, but Rose-Hulman comes into this ball game 1-3. They'll leave with a 2-3 mark, and more importantly, 2-0 in the HCAC, and they'll keep pace for their quest for another conference title and a chance to play in the Division III national playoffs. They played last year against DePaul. They lost a very close game last year. They opened the season with a very close loss to DePaul. And for Rose-Hulman, they want to keep pace and see if they can get back in the national tournament. For Coach Jeff Sokol, he's seen improvement, And right now he has 2 quarterbacks that can play, which early in the season he didn't have 2 quarterbacks that could play. Had to go to the 3rd string guy, and that caused some problems. Wasn't able to move the football as effectively as he wanted to. You're going to watch Rose-Hulman come over and sing the school fight song once they all get through the line and everybody gets lined up here. That's one of the traditions at Rose-Hulman. It's a great tradition and a great tradition for this institution. Rose-Hulman, the #1 engineering school in the country that only goes up to a master's degree in education. Great young man, great opportunity to go to school. I met with one of the families out here. They said, yeah, we came all the way from Arizona to watch our son. I'm like, this is pretty cool. So winning on homecoming, and here it comes. Seniors up on the stands, leading them in that school fight song. And Rose-Hulman wins 48-14, and what a really good ball game for the Fighting Engineers. Again, this next week for Rose-Hulman, they'll travel away and go to Bluffton, and then we will have the next 2 ball games on October 22nd. It's Franklin at home, a 1:30 start. October 29th, it's Defiance with another 1:30 start, and they finish the season at Hanover and at Mount St. Joe. Those are 2 of the teams that we know could compete for that conference lead and title. And again, they have to hold serve all the way through. If you're going to get into the national playoffs and win the conference, you have to win them all, because you don't want to go down to a tie and have somebody take care of it from a win or a loss, depending on what's happening in the season. Rose-Hulman controls their own destiny and what would take place in conference, and that's what you really want. Again, maintaining that undefeated conference mark is what the Fighting Engineers want to do, and they were able to handle Manchester this afternoon. And for Manchester, they'll go on and play Hanover, Bluffton, Franklin, Defiance, and Anderson in that order, and we want to wish the best to them as well as they move on in their season. We're going to close out this afternoon. Again, Rose-Hulman wins the ball game 48-14, and beautiful day, beautiful action. It's homecoming, and we hope you have a great day as well, and we'll say so long this afternoon from Rose-Hulman.
You are watching Rose-Hulman football on the Indiana Sports Network.
You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission from Indiana Sports Network.